Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome one, welcome all to part of your Wednesday night entertainment here at the MRS Racing League. Hope you are all well. We are here under the lights for round 11 of season 10, rounds after this one. So, championship is getting a little bit tight, a little bit hectic as well, which I'll go through during the course of this qualifying session. Evening, Jack. Lovely to have you in the chat already, my friend. Hope you're looking forward to this one. Again, under the lights here in Qatar. Very difficult, very fast circuit as well. You may know it from, of course, MotoGP over the years and slightly adapted for Formula One cars in recent seasons. But as I say, very, very quick. Easy to invalidate a lap time, so I think some of the drivers are going to be pushing on and just almost then taking it easy to start with. There's only 16 cars, there's a few traction zones. There's one around turn 6 that we've got Mike on board on his outlap. And just before we start, there's a few new drivers this evening, which is fantastic to see. So welcome to MTU. That's getting a nickname. Voxy D, and welcome to you, Master G. We saw last time out was having a good race until it all unfortunately unravelled. And Fantisek Cortec, you're definitely getting another nickname as well. But welcome to you guys, and welcome to MRS. Quite a busy grid as mentioned, so yeah, lovely. There's a lot of positions now on offer. Dean is back with us, our championship leader. So as I say, I will go through, of course, the standings partway through this session. Now let's go back to the man who's starting his first flying lap, and that is Mike in the McLaren, the Papaya Mobile, out in force this evening. Trem is also joined, so we've got a full team there. Quite a few full teams as well on the grid. We've got the Aston Martins in full force as well, but single drivers for the Mercedes and the Williams again this evening, and two Ferraris. So Dom has a rear gunner to help with his attempts in this championship. And as I've mentioned in previous races, that constructor standings very, very close indeed. So a lot of movers and shakers before the end of the season. Kick Sauber, of course, leading the way quite comfortably. Dean and Thomas having an incredible season between them. But this is where Mike could get a little bit hampered through this fast section. He's got the Red Bull ahead. That's going to be Vexman, I think. No, it won't be Monster, actually, who's looking to start a lap. So Monster trying to push on as well. He doesn't want to be hampered on his lap, but he's far enough ahead. But Mike's going to get a very lovely tow down the start-finish straight to end his lap, and it's a 22.8 opener. Let's have a look to his teammate. How is he getting on now in the middle sector? Good evening to the 5 people who are watching. Hope you get involved in the chat. Look forward to hearing from you and hearing your thoughts as well, not just of this circuit, but the season so far. Let's tramp now around the triple right-hander. Reminiscent a bit of Turkey as oh, he goes very wide, carried too much speed and validates his lap right at the end. That is heartbreak for him. Who we've got? Master G. Actually, let's go on board. I know I'm flicking there, gents. Ladies and gentlemen, sorry. Actually, all our new drivers, unfortunately, are all in the pits. So that doesn't help. Master G, let's go back to the Mercedes man. Everybody out on the soft tyres. I think Dean's going to have a look later on, as he usually does in the session. Let drivers do their first runs when the track gets a little bit quieter. And this is one of those tracks where you can use quite a lot of that ERS battery. You see it there at the bottom on medium output now at the moment for Master G. 52% of his battery remaining, so hasn't used as much as many other drivers as we see during their lap. Monster's actually put it into third, but a good warm-up lap, and it is going to be even quicker for Master G. There's it. 2.5 beats Mike Taylor's time, as now the lap times coming thick and fast What can Jack do on his opening run? Doesn't run too wide, that's easy. As we mentioned, to invalidate. And now then, coming in to the final corner, turn 16. And what's it going to be from Jack? A little bit squirrely on exit, but pushing towards the line. It's a 23.3 into fourth for him. Trem's going again, but he's invalidated, so he is going to pit this lap. And that's sort of everybody for their first run. So interesting that, well, a big gap really. We have got a few tenths of a second. Master G to Mike, got 3 tenths of a second. Then Blood Diamond as one of our new drivers, MTU D2. That's going to be new nickname. Hope he's a Star Wars fan. So he is now on an out lap. Voxy, or Foxy Bingo, as he's now going to be nicknamed, and Frantis, or Frankenstein. I like that one actually. Frankenstein. So we've got R2D2 and Frankenstein, a pair of monsters in the Aston Martins this evening. I hope they don't take offence to that. But hopefully on their debuts it's going to be a good strong pairing and a good strong outing for them. As now Foxy Bingo does leave. So, a few drivers still out at the moment, but their first runs are done. Interestingly, Dom is going for a second flyer. Got his teammate behind. Foxy on an out lap. So what can Dom do through the middle sector? Well, he's up on his time. So it could be a nice improvement for him. Let's have a look through the final sector for Dom. What's it gonna be? He's got a nice bit of battery left. Seems to have quite a decent exit as well out of the final corner, and it is a good improvement up into fourth. 23.35. So a couple of tenths off Blood Diamond, Mike, and almost, well, 8 tenths of a second off Master G. That was a stunning lap from Master G, of course. Don't forget, folks, this is Realistic Performance Evening Monster. Hope you're feeling good about tonight. Good solid opener on a 23.8. Half a second still to find to liquid gas, but this track is one of those that really rubbers in, especially once you get the eye and find the grip and get the confidence. Liquid gas has improved. He's now up into third on a 23.0, just ahead of Blood Diamond. Thomas is out on the medium tyres, which we usually see. Deans actually has left the pits on the intermediates. So an interesting turn of events for Dean. Yeah, he's still on a high for Monday. I'm not surprised, Andrew. I'm not surprised at all. What can M2D2 do? And that is sixth for him, just ahead of the Red Bull pairing. Where is one of our other newcomers? Where is Foxy? Foxy Bingo goes a little bit wide. Doesn't manage to invalidate. Must have backed off a little bit. So got away with it. Right at the end of the lap as well. So he's run out of his battery though. So this is going to hamper him all the way running down to the line at the final corner. What can he do? Is it going to be? It's a 23.5. So again, he pops himself ahead of Monster, right behind our other newcomer as well. Let's have a look who is on a lap. I'm looking to find somebody I can do an on-board lap with. Where is Master G? Going through that sector. That'll do nicely. So we're going to do an on-board lap at this Fast and Furious Qatar Lusail International Circuit. And now gearing up for the final corner. Important, as he said, to get the traction down. So let's have a look. Master G down the start, finish straight. DRS is wide open. Very bumpy on the left-hand side of the track. You can see the car bouncing and oscillating down Heavy braking around the 50-metre board. It's a long turn one. This one up, shifts into fifth to stop the rear from sliding too much. Swings it to the long left-hander, takes a lot of that inside curve as well through two. Flat out kink of turn three. And then we've got the very fast turn four, and then a little bit tighter. There it is into five. Hesitant on the throttle, which you should be to keep that car balanced to the right-hand side for the heaviest and the braking and the slowest corner on the track. Keeps it in fourth. So car rotating very nicely indeed. And then turn seven, long left-hander before this little kink of 8, and then the flat out of turn 9. Easy to actually lose the rear through there if you're not careful. And a very long turn 10, and it swings out for the kink of turn 11. That was it. Did you see it? It's now on the left hand side of the track as we swing it in. The very fast flat out first part, flat out second, and then almost flat out. It is flat out third for Master G through 14, turn 15, slight lift, and then throws it in. This is a quick time for Master G. Last braking point at the end of the lap, bouncing, oscillating through as he gets the run. DRS activated towards line. It's a great improvement to a 22.004. What a lap for Master G. That is really throwing the gauntlet down now. Almost, well, it is nearly 9/10 of a second to Mike in second. What a stunning lap. That was fantastic. Well, if any of the drivers are in the pits watching that, might make them a little bit nervous, I must say. Liquid gas now on and out lap. Where's Monster? He is on a lap up on his current time, which is good to see. Let's have a look. How does he get on through this middle sector? Tricky turn 11. Easy to run it, too far wide. No problems for Monster through there. How's his middle sector looking? Up again through his time. So this is currently a nice lap for the Red Bull man. Doesn't use as much curb through 11, 12, 13, and then 14 and 15 as well. Keeps it nice, got plenty of his battery left to go towards the line. Takes it in fourth gear, doesn't run too wide. Now then, overtake button, DRS activated. It's a good improvement, back up into fifth on a 23.2 for the Red Bull man and Monster. So good lap, good improvement there. Grimo is out on the medium tyres. I think he's bailed and finished on his lap. Yes, he has. Dean's on the hard compound tyres. Now, we've seen this earlier in the season. Notably the first race of the season, ladies and gents, where Dean used the hard tyres under the lights of Las Vegas. And, well, I think he was in about 4th or 5th, I think he qualified. Which was incredible. Absolutely fantastic, and Dean has had some commanding wins this season, but he's not had it all his own way. Mike in the McLaren, currently in P2, has really given him something to think about. So has Thomas, the other Kick Sauber as well. Jack as well gets a little bit of bad luck, does Jack. Monster as well in his day, having some good races. So as well, we've also seen Dom, the resurgence of Dom at times as well this season. So really been an up and down season for a lot of drivers. It's one of those that you really can't call a winner. A lot of these races you can't actually call a podium to save your life. Wow, Dean got away with going wide there. He's turned his ERS off, but is he going to make a short burst towards the line? Is he going to see the overtake? He's actually bailed on that. He's coming to the pits. He'll have to be quick for a turnaround to get back out and actually do another lap. Grimo's slightly up on his previous time. Has he going to have enough fuel though? You can see the fuel light flashing at the bottom of your screen. But he's still up a little bit on his time. Master G's retired from the session. He's in the pits. He's done. He's happy. 2 runs, saving some tyres as well for the race. 29 laps we're going to have here around this. And it is such a difficult circuit. So tough. Because it's so bouncy, it's so fast as well. So, big difficult, good improvement from Grimo. He's just behind Vexman, who is on a lap invalidator, so he's going to maybe go again. No, he hasn't got the fuel. It's going to be a quick turnaround for a lot of them. Fantis hasn't actually done a lap yet. Let's have a look at the other Aston Martin, who has set a lap time. M2D2. Comes round to the middle set. Oh, big kick above Steve. That's going to cost him quite a bit of time in this mid-sector, and just lose a bit of confidence, because you're going to start pushing on a little bit. You're going to worry about the tyre temperatures when it comes to that, and the tyres really overheat round here because it's so fast, and you've got the really quick right-handers just in this final part of the lap, that the left-hand tyres screaming for mercy, even if you're on the harder compound tyres, on the maximum amount of pressure that you can use to try to keep the temps down. It's no good. It really hurts them. So the soft tyres, probably not really a race tyre, probably only good for about 2 to 3 laps before they start to fade quite a bit. But lost a little bit of time in that last sector there, did M2. But we've got... Let's have a look. I saw somebody change down there. That could have been Trem, I think, has improved. Maybe, yeah. Voxy as well. Thomas down in 12th currently. Hasn't set a representative time. Dean's going to have to... Has Dean left the pits? Oh, he has. He's going to be hard pushed, though. He's going to have to set quite a bit of a quick outlap, you'd have to say. I think Monster as well. They're going to be pushing it very fine in terms of getting round the lap in order to set the final time. Let's go back. Who is on a lap, folks? So we'll look at this. Foxy Bingo up on his first set time. He has invalidated, though. Trem has used all of his... I think he's actually forgotten his overtakes on there, because he's got 0 battery left. What's that going to do? On the mid-sector, there's a Ferrari. I think that's Voxy out of the way. Could also be Dom. Yeah, Trem. It wasn't Dom, so it was Voxy. Dom is on his fast lap now, coming through the end of the first sector. He is up on his time. As I mentioned, this is it. The tyres now, the track really at its peak and its maximum that it can possibly be. And I think that was M2 coming into the pits. It is, so 5th the best for him. Mike has decided not to come out again. So here we go, folks. We've got a lot of drivers crossing the line. We'll cut to them very shortly as the drivers now pushing on. But Dom up by 3.5 tenths. This could put him somewhere around the second row as the checkered flag falls. This is it. Any mistakes could really cost you on the grid, and there is chances of overtaking around here, but we'll talk about that in the couple of minute interval that we have. Dom, good exit from the final corner. Overtake runs towards the line, and it's second. What an improvement that is from Dom. Front row for him. Blood Diamond is about level, but we're going to have a look. We're going to cut to who's going to be finished the line. It's Thomas. He can only manage 8th. Where's Dean? He's coming through the middle sector. Where's Blood Diamond to start with there? He's coming through the final corner. Has he got enough on the run towards the line to improve on his previous time? And he can't quite do it. Now then, let's go back. Vexman invalidated this time. Now then, Dean through the middle sector. He is gone. He is now pushing on through the final part of the lap. What can he do? The 1 lap shootout for the Kick Sauber, his teammate, in 8th position currently. What's it going to be as he comes towards the line? And it's second as well. Upsets Dom. Monsters build on his lap time. He is now in the pits. So that is qualifying right at the end. Master Chief, what a lap that was. And I'm really pleased that we managed to do an onboard lap with that pole time of 22.004 for only a second race in MRS. What a lap that is. Dean in second, some 4.5 tenths of a second behind, but he jumps Dom in third. Mike is going to be in 4th with Liquid Gas in 5th, just be ahead of Blood Diamond. M2D2 on his... Oh, the far chase cam. My goodness me. That brings back some nostalgia, doesn't it? From racing games past, before cockpit cams and all the rest of it. But then, where were we? So M2 is in 7th on the grid. Monster just fractions behind in 8th. Thomas, the second of the Kick Salvers, in 9th. Trem is in 10th. Voxy Dan, or Voxy Bingo, in 11th on his MRS debut. Vexman in 12th. Grimo 13th. And Funkenstein didn't set a lap time. He will start in 14th. So, yeah, the top four are going to be starting on the soft tyres. That's it. That's correct. So that's going to be an interesting one. See how they can make those last, and can they make them last? Well, looking at that, let's go to the drivers' standings, and I really have to go through. Well, I'm going to have to work on here. So, actually, Dean has been overtaken because of the races he has missed by his teammate. A 13-point gap. Thomas on 196 points. Dean on 183. Only 3 points ahead of the man who is currently in the conversation at the moment, Liquid Gas, on 180 points. Then Dom on 152, only 4 points ahead of Mike, Taylor and Vexman. So that's going to be a good battle because they are level on points. A little bit further back, only 21 points further back, is Blood Diamond, who's just ahead of Grimo and Monster. Then a bit of a gap down through the rest of the field. But Master G got 19 points last time out, so it's going to be interesting to see what he can do going forwards. And then let's have a look at the constructors as well, because I mentioned before that is very, very exciting indeed. Well, Kick Sauber have a 119-point advantage over the McLaren boys, who are on 260 points, only 1 point ahead of the Red Bulls, who are on 259. So that's going to be a very exciting battle towards the end of the season. VCAR as well, not far away. They're on 242 points. Ferrari on 189, only 8 ahead of Williams, who are currently in 6th. On 181. Now, bear in mind, Jack is mainly the only Williams driver, and in fairness, Dom's been one of the only Ferrari drivers as well this season, so that just shows how strong they have been throughout the course of the previous races, and their consistency as well at scoring really solid and really good points. So, we've got this little bit of a breather for the next minute or two, and as I mentioned, very difficult track, this one. Very difficult to keep the tyres working, very difficult to not overheat them basically, and also the one for track limits. It depends on the penalty situation. How many time penalties are we going to see? Are we going to see that dreaded safety car as well around here? Because incidents are usually they're not very few and far between. There is generally. Oh, Funky must have left the session by accident. That's why he didn't set a lap time, but luckily he has come back to the server. I think a few leagues out there, and I know of course, my other one, that reporting a few server issues. I think that could be to do with the release of the beta this week. So that could also have a few little problems for everybody and everybody racing. This week. There weren't too many issues I experienced on Monday evening, I must say. But yeah, tonight just seems to be a bit difficult. So hopefully it's there's not much that is going to hamper the racing for everybody this evening. But again, let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you're in there, how your qualifying went. Monster, how do you feel about yours, my friend? Jack, what about yourself? You're going to be starting, I think, there as well on the soft tyres. But it's going to be an interesting one for strategies. We could see a couple of 2 stops here, but usually 1 stop is the way to go, using the hard and the medium compound tyres. Not necessarily in that order, of course. Oh, sorry, you're P5. Sorry, my friend. I'll give you an order. Look, I gave you a promotion. What can I say? So, okay. I'm not going to read that out loud, because if people are listening but can't see the chat, I'm not going to read that out loud just yet until we got the formation up, till everything is locked in. And speaking of which, we are now on the formation up. So, hard tyres apparently for Liquid Gas, which he has done. I thought you might be throwing us a little curve ball there. Blood Diamond and M2D2 on the mediums, then Monster and Thomas, and then down to 13th Grimmo also on the hards, everyone else on the mediums. The top 4 on their soft tyres, but Master G did 1 lap on his soft tyres. So did Dean as well right at the end. I'm not sure about Dom and Mike, but it's interesting, of course, that battle in the championship that they would be sharing the second row together this evening. But there's chance, as I mentioned, to... Who had a spin? Oh, that was Monster. That's not what you want to do, mate, on the formation lap, unless you were caught napping a little bit. But, yeah, this is just going to be an interesting one if you can get as much heat into the tyres as you can. We've just seen a 122 in the qualifying. We should see a 124s, 125s, I would say, for the could be the average lap times with heavy fuel and the tyres that we're going to be using. But Master G not hanging around, trying to get as much heat into those tyres as you possibly can, and the left tyres will now suddenly be very, very warm through that sequence in the third sector, of course, because it is very, very quick indeed through 12, 13 and 14. Bit of a field spread at this moment in time, but best of luck to all the drivers this evening, especially the newcomers to MRS. M2D2 in 7th, Foxy Bingo in 11th, and Frankenstein. So I hope he doesn't take offence, I really do, to Frankie in 14th. Now we've got drivers starting to line up on the grid. We do get a view of the lights. 29 laps about to be underway here at the Lusail International Circuit. So have a swig of your drink, folks, and let's get ready. It's going to be a fast one, and it's going to be furious. A lot of action. Here we go. 2, 3, 4 and 5 red lights, and your Wednesday MRS is all underway, and that was not a long hold. Dom got caught. He's got a poor start, a poor getaway, but a good start from Mike Taylor. There's cars 3, 4 abreast. Frankie got a poor start, so he's dropped further down. So did Foxy Bingo, so Frankie and Foxy not a good start from there. Blood Diamond and M2 through on liquid gas. The softer tyres that got warm got the better drive through as well. And oh, that's a Ferrari going very wide in the background. That'll be Foxy as well, but the top 4 away from everybody else. And Dean already putting Master G under a lot of pressure on this opening lap. Going to get rid of those tyres because that camera angle is absolutely shocking, so we need to see as much as we possibly can on track. Now then, Thomas and Monster having a ding-dong battle as well. Monster on the hard tyres just taking it steady through here into these opening stages, which is absolutely key to do. Grimmo's had a moment somewhere there as well. He's now dropped back to 13th. He's had a spin, maybe out of the hairpin, I think it was. But now looking at these top 2, just starting to eke away a little bit. And I mentioned about the battery levels. It's not easy. Once you drop those levels, it is not easy. There's not a lot of braking zones around here that you can start to recharge and regenerate that energy system. So we'll see a few gaps, I'd imagine, ebbing and flowing throughout this race. And of course, once we're in that DRS, absolutely key, which is now activated. And then we'll get it at the end of this lap. Dean, is he going to need it? Is he going to try and have a look at the turn 1? Not quite close enough to do anything with Master G. So Frankie got 10 seconds speeding in the pit lane and he's retired already. Oh, that's upsetting on your debut. So 1 driver down, 13 left. Grimmo was 6 points, so he's actually coming a little bit closer. Now, so he's in the free air while everyone's battling, potentially holding themselves up. And interestingly, the top 4 on the soft tyres. M2 is there, Blood Diamond's there. Liquid Gas on the hards is just dropped back a little bit with Trim behind him. Vexman and fighting with his teammate as well. I think Vexman's on the medium tyres, so that could just be some team games being played there with the strategies, folks. It has to be probably a 2-stop. Unless you're very good with your tyres and you can keep those hard tyres alive. It'd be interesting to see which tyres the top 4 especially choose to go on. Probably only a couple laps time. The yellow flag just for the DNF'd Aston Martin that came back on track has now disappeared. But Liquid Gas is probably going to be the one at a little bit of risk. But Dean, first time round with the DRS, does he waste time? Not Dean. Not when he knows his teammates a bit further back and he needs to get those points and try to assert himself back on top of the Drivers' Championship. I mentioned 5 more races after this one, so still a lot of points up for grabs as Mastery gets a really good slipstream out of 3. Grimo's pitted already. Has the V-Car got a bit of damage? We're going to cut away from the action just to have a little bit of a look. Is there a front wing waiting for Grimo? Yes, there is. Oh, that's heartbreak for him. He's going to find himself a little bit lonesome, and it is tough to keep your focus through this bouncing track. A few gaps starting to form and difference of tyres, but Diamond just crept outside that 1 second window to M2, who is on the back of this top 4, so good showing already for M2 on his debut. As Mike goes very, very wide through the middle part of, well, I'm going to call them the left-handers. It's Turkey in reverse. That beautiful sequence in Turkey, but I tell you what, Master Gino looking to respond to Dino on this lap to do what Dean did to him. And look at that, there we go, the move easily done. But I tell you what, Mike's been interested. Is Mike going to try and take him both into the first corner? Mike's gone for it. Mike's got the move as he managed to hold him, but Master D's not giving this one up. He's trying to hold him on the outside of 2. You can do that. He's now got the inside for 3. Who's going to have the run all the way up to 4? Because, oh, there's been contact. There's contact between Mike and Master D, and Mike went to first and takes the lead. Master G tried everything he could to get back on it, and he couldn't quite do it. M2 was also looking very interested in the background, battling with Dom. But wow, Mike sees the initiative there. Now actually takes the lead. And that squadron didn't actually hamper anybody by the looks of it, because Blood Diamond didn't quite close within that second. That is a good camera angle, but want to see the action. There it is. Dom there sitting in 4th. M2 the prime position can save a bit of battery, can possibly save a little bit of his tyres, doesn't have to push as hard. Master G gone wide too many times. 3 second warning, the first one of the evening. What happened to Thomas? Thomas is down in 12th, must have had a big moment somewhere. And Monster's dropped off the back. Now then, already Master G in the pits, end of lap 4, beginning of lap 5. That is early, but that just shows the difference of the tyres. Let's go to those tyres and see what he chooses to use for his middle stint. It is going to be the medium tyres, so definitive 2-stop strategy for Master G, the man who is on pole. Blood Diamond has really caught up now to the back of this pack, so now we've gone from 5 to 4, back to 5 again, and Liquid Gas will start getting those hard tyres in the window as well. He'll start to come pushing on, so he's going to look at Foxy, gets 3 second penalty, currently in second, hold himself very, very well ahead of Trem, Vexman, Monster and Thomas. All season races here in MRS. Got a bit of a gap though to Liquid Gas. Liquid Gas will get a distant tow, but will need to really push on, because now the drivers on the medium tyres, M2 and Blood Diamond, they're going to be looking prime position now. They'll feel they'll have a little bit more pace than the drivers ahead. Now then, who is going to respond to Master G on this lap? Are we going to see Mike, Dean or Dom? All 3 dive into the pit lane as we come to the end of Sector 3 and to the end of the lap. Look at everybody nose to tail. Liquid Gas is actually there in touch. Who's going to dive? Nobody pits. Interesting, Trem now joins the 3 second club. But interesting, yeah, they've continued on, and Dean having a look at Mike. Gets that move done. Is the Ferrari of Dom close enough? He's not quite. So on we go. But M2, look at this, he is all over the back of the Ferrari at this moment in time. Liquid Gas not able to really do anything yet. There he is in the back of shot. But yeah, M2 and Blood Diamond, they will definitely feel they've got the pace, and I can think M2 at this moment really does. You can see him all over the back of the Ferrari, under braking through the middle of a corner as well. Even on traction, look at that, he is all over the back. He has got more pace, he has got more grip and life in those tyres. Look at that, he's got a beautiful shot at this moment. Oh, I had to cut away, didn't it? But a lovely on board from M2 through that sequence. Show the grip that he has and the confidence as well, but just having to be hesitant. Done maybe a little bit wide there, that could have given him a warning. Only got 3 drivers on the penalty board. Tell you what, Blood Diamond's trying to have a look. Oh, that was a $1 short. If you want to use the great old Martin Brundle analogy, that was a bit hopeful. But I tell you what, Liquid Gas has caught up. Mike and Dean swapping once more. That's what we'd expect. But Liquid Gas this lap has pulled hugely back into this pack, because I think those soft tyres are just not working at this moment. They've tried, I think they're trying the one stop. I think they're trying and attempting a potential one stop strategy, and if they are, it's going to be very, very brave indeed, because Master G is actually closing on the back of Thomas while he's in clear after his pit stop. Grimo's unfortunately forced with a wing change. But Master G in clean air, clawing chunks of time out the back of Thomas, who has dropped off the back of Monster actually. Vexman is actually through on Trem, so now he is in a Red Bull sandwich. That's definitely high octane, but tell you what, Blood Diamond's not giving this one up. Into the final sector we go, into turn 11, turn 12, turn 13. Oh, the last about had to go wide, and that's very, very close indeed. I don't know if there was contact or how much there was of it. You've always got to leave space. Oh, Voxy got another 3 seconds, and Blood Diamond went very, very wide indeed. Didn't even try to get back on the circuit, just tried to keep the car level with it, and he's now got 3 seconds. He'll be really annoyed with that one, I am sure of it. But I tell you what, Dean has dropped, had a moment somewhere in that lap, and he dropped outside the DRS and made himself vulnerable to Dom, who now comes through into second. I think that was crowd cheering and a hand popped up, so somebody in the crowd likes it that a Ferrari coming through on a kick Sauber. Master G, look at that, told you he was taking chunks out of Thomas further back. Look at Blood Diamond, he has definitely got the grip between his teeth. What a move into turn 5, 4 and 5 for him. And now look at Jack, hard compound tyres for the Williams, the back of this train. Do not count him out, ladies and gents. But M2's also looking back at Blood Diamond up the hill. That's very, very close indeed. He's had to almost go off track because Dean's had a problem somewhere. Dean was very, very slow. I wonder if he's, I don't know what's happened to Dean. Extremely slow at this moment in time. He's dropping like a stone. Blood Diamond, what a move. He had to overtake 2 cars almost there because M2 was on the inside of him, and wow, that was close action there, folks. But Dom, no, this is has just sort of pulled away a little bit. Dom, 1.6 from the back of Mike, who's probably going to be breathing a little sigh of relief, must be said. But in the last 3 laps, oh, as Dom's gone very, very deep. Have those soft tyres stopped working? He tried to cut to the pits. Jack had to take avoiding action. Such was the way that it works around here, and I can honestly say I've had that as well. Tried to hit the pits. Someone went on the inside of me. Dean speeding in the pit lane. 10-second penalty for the man in second place in the championship. Who was that went very deep into turn 1? I'm not exactly sure. But Jack, and now the Aston Martin are side by side through turn 2. Jack gets through. So now we've got Blood Diamond, Liquid Gas and M2D2. Difference in tyres, but they are now fighting. Top 3, now the soft tyre ones have gone into the pits, and they're going to lose quite a bit of time. They actually lost a lot of time compared to Master G, but they are on fresh, hard tyres, ladies and gents. These could potentially, I think they're going to try and take him to the end. So that is going to be very, very interesting. Oh, M2 do has got some support in the chat. Love it to have it. That's awesome to see. Thank you for joining. Oh, as Liquid Gas had a big moment through turn 10. That's allowed M2 to come straight flying back past and back up into second, but he's very precariously on the edge of that DRS detection. Nearly at a second to Blood Diamond. Sure, he's going to be using as much battery as he possibly can through this last part to ensure that he is going to stay within that second, and he has done it. Voxy's doing a great job there in fourth, keeping Vexman at bay. Monsters now close to the back of Trem. Those hard tyres now really starting to come into their own. They seem to have more grip, more overall pace. But let's go back to the top three. Nothing happening this time around, so let's leave the top three and look at Monster. Lot better grip, and now he's gone through on Trem. Better top speed as well for the Red Bull over the McLaren. Oh, Trem tried to shoot a little bit of a switchback, but there was definitely not room there, so Monster takes off after his teammate. Now they're up to 5th and 6th, but of course, looking at all those tyres, there is a lot to come in this race. 10 laps down already. How the heck are we 10 laps down? We've still got 19 to go, and there's a lot going to happen. So, unlucky for Frankie. Or Fantis. He is... Look at this. Where's Trem going? Trem went round the outs. I think Trem outbroke himself a little bit. Trem's not giving this one up on Monster, but this is costing Monster time as well. Monster wants to get his head down, get back on to his teammate. Voxy struggling, I think, as well for a bit of overall pace. There he is, the right. Wow, he got very, very sideways through there. That is not a point of the track you want to be losing the rear end. That is very scary indeed. But the question now is, how long will the medium tyres last? When are we going to see the pit stops? I tell you what, Jack got an overspeed and a half. Is he going to try for 2? He thinks about it. He thought better of it. But I tell you what, we know already, M2 doesn't give it up. Side by side into turn 2, M2's got it. Is he going to leave the space for the Williams? The Williams is trying to switch back through 3. Is he going to have it on the run to turn 4? Not quite. M2 has got the pace, the speed, and keeps second place. I don't think I'm going to be able to come up to the end of this. I honestly don't. Bloomin' heck, never mind me. What about the drivers? Look at Jack now. Going through again. This is a good overtaking spot, and he gets the move done. M2 can't fight that one back. The track doesn't allow it. Straight into a left-hander. Had to give the place there to Liquid Gas. He's going to be tearing up now after Blood Diamond. So it's an interesting start on the hards. They're starting to come good now. Monster closed again on his teammate, but he's dragged Trem with him. Master G has got through on Thomas, who's not having a good evening so far. Championship leader currently in 9th place, but his teammate also not having a good evening either. He is in 12th. He has pitted though, but he has got a bit of a penalty to go. And look at that, 13 seconds speeding in the pit lane. So when he comes to pit again, he's going to lose another 10 seconds on top of that. Foxy's got 10, but there we go, change for the lead. And this time it is Jack in the Williams who now takes the lead for the first time on lap 12. And he's going to look to use that tyre advantage and try to pull away from these two. But it's, like I say, who's going to pit next? Who is it going to be? Monster, of course, as well. Tell you what, Trem's not giving this one up. He had a little bit of a look there up to turn 4. Wasn't quick enough. But it's nice to see there's a few battles. Monster really pushing on. It's going to be interesting to see. Oh, I thought there was going to be a tap there, but just about got the cast up. It's going to be interesting to see if Fexman and Monster play the team game. I think Monster might have let Fexman go early on, trying to use the medium tyres to the advantage, but Monster now has definitely got the better tyres at this point of the race. Let's go back to those tyres, because the crossover, I've said for the last 2-3 laps, is definitely here, and they have closed on Voxy as well ahead. Voxy just not got the pace at this point, so now he's got a Red Bull for company, and Vexman looking quite confident. Foxy now 8 seconds off the top 3. As Blood Diamond is the first to pit of the medium tyre runners, so how key is that going to be when it comes down to tyre life at the end of the race? But also, what about the undercut? He may come out in clean air. Dom with another penalty. Look at the movers going down there. That's Vexman. Quite an easy move on Foxy. Now Monster is going to look to follow through as well. Mike got through on Thomas. Thomas starting on the hard tyres, just hasn't seemed to got the pace this evening, so not sure why. But Diamond's come up behind Dean. So interestingly, although we do know that Dom Monster 3-second penalty joins the club. And here's fight through with Foxy and Trem. So Master G was the first to pit. He is on 8-lap-old medium tyres. They will start to go off a little bit, but he's still close to the back of the battle there with Foxy, Monster and Trem, led by the other Red Bull of Vexman. So he is now closed, and he is now within DRS because his tyres are 4 laps fresher. But Mike is on 4-lap-old hard tyres. We know how quick they're going to come very, very soon. Then you've got Thomas struggling a little bit, but then you've got Dom and Dean, who probably will have to pit as well again. So this is sort of the strategy now. M2 was pitted from second. Now where's he going to come out in relevance to Blood Diamond? Because they're the ones that pitted similar time. Who else is pitted? That is Vexman. Monster keeps on going, of course. He's on the hard tyres, but now we've got quite a lot of people. Everybody on the medium tyres is now pitting. Once again, that's released Master G. Didn't quite get the DRS as well down there, so that's not helped him. But Mike got the fastest lap of the race now. Those hards are working very nicely indeed for him. So I'm just going to let all these positions... What happened to M2? I just saw him career across the track. I think he tried to put the throttle down and came careering across the track. Got the wheels spinning up. So he's now dropped a bit of time now to Blood Diamond. He could have potentially come out ahead of the V-Carb, but now finds himself 2.8 behind, only 1 lap difference in those tyres. He's shown some very good pace so far. So the 3 drivers are now left to pit. The top 2, Liquid Gas and Monster, and then Thomas, who's currently found himself in 5th after that pit stop, but he has got a charging Dom Walsh and his teammate Dean right behind him. So there are a few gaps at this moment, but I'm sure that will change when people just get their tyres up to temperature. Who can make them last then? As we come to about halfway through this race. Starting lap 15 for Liquid Gas in the Williams, whereas Monster's got Master G for company. Master G will have to pit again. So this is technically a battle for position. But Monster will get the medium tyres. I think he'll try to take to about lap 18, lap 19, if he possibly can, and get the mediums on and go towards the end. Now then, let's go back to this one. Dom and Dean both through on Thomas. Fresh rubber and DRS meant that Thomas was not going to keep them behind for very long. Now it's battle resumed. Grimmo 3-second penalty as well to add to his list of woes this evening. Currently about half a lap behind our race leader and has pitted, of course. So I'm trying to do a little bit of maths here, folks. I'm trying my best. Mike, Dom and Dean, Mike's got a good bit of a gap to Dom and to Dean. That's a 6-second gap now. Don't actually know how long the pit lane is round here. They have shortened it quite considerably because if you remember rightly, the pit lane entrance, and I'm going to use Dean as a perfect example, was here on the right hand side. There it is. If you can see to the right where the 100-metre board is, you cut inside through the last corner and went all the way down the inside where the barrier is there into the pit lane. And now they're considerably shorter. Strem gets another 3-second penalty, but Monster has now pit. He didn't go as long as I thought he would. Master G has also pit. So that's interesting. Monster's got 13 laps to do on those mediums. Yeah, that should be okay. People are doing 13, 14 laps or so that could be okay. Lighter fuel loads, of course, as well. So that's given Liquid Gas a 14-second gap. If it's going to be about 20-ish seconds, 21, 22, he could come out to where Thomas and Blood Diamond are. Now, Blood Diamond is on his strategy. Do not forget that. Blood Diamond, M2, D2 and Jack were battling just before M2 Blood Diamond entered the pits on the medium tyres while Jack started on the hard. So this is now one where, yeah, this is going to be a bit close, I think. Even if he comes out behind Jack, he's going to have the medium tyres. He's going to have a bit more pace to begin with. But I think he'll probably try and take those tyres just that little bit longer, if he possibly can. Unfortunately, Monster wasn't able to do that, but he slotted into a gap right behind his teammate. But Diamond, another 3 seconds to add to his list of woes. Is that the chance of a win disappearing this evening? But M2 is pushing on. He's made that second stop. Sorry, no, he didn't. It was Master that made the second stop. Apologies. Messing them up there. But Diamond out through into 5th, ahead of Thomas, who also has not pitted. But Mike Taylor has taken about a second out of Liquid Gas. Now then, if Liquid Gas knows where Blood Diamond is, and I'm sure he will, because I know he has this on in the background, and I also know that he'll see the top 5, including their interval times, on his display in the top left corner of his screen, pretty much where ours is, but a little bit more out of the way. And he'll know the gap. He'll be trying to calculate the gap of how long he can take the tyres. What can he potentially afford to lose? M2 now joins the 3-second club. Wow, only 3 drivers without, well, 4 drivers, apologies, without a penalty. Now Jack does make his pit stop. This is going to be close. Wow, M2, what? He loves doing that on the outside. Gee whiz, what a move. That's the superior grip for you there on the Aston Martin. But he's dropped about 2 seconds nearly to Blood Diamond through that. Now look at that, medium tyres. His car is moving. You can see it now. The bottom of your screen. Where's he going to come out of in relation to Blood Diamond? Blood Diamond down the pit straight. Are we going to see a Williams emerge at the right hand side? We do, but it's not going to be close enough. Blood Diamond does get ahead of Jack, but Jack crucially ahead of M2 as well. So now then, race on, folks, because they've got to catch up now and pass Mike, Dean and Dom, and this is going to be so critical. Can they keep these tyres alive? Has Mike built up enough of a 7-second gap to the gentleman behind him, the drivers behind? Is that enough that's going to hamper Blood Diamond and hamper Liquid Gas? Because penalties are going to play a key. Dean, when he pits again, don't forget that 13-second penalty. Dom has got 3, 6 seconds for Blood Diamond, 3 for M2, D2, 3 for Master G, 3 for Monster, who's passed his teammate and chasing down Master G. And then Foxy with 9, Trem with 6, and Grimmo with 3 as well. So we're starting lap 19, 11 more racing laps to go. Let's go back to those tyres, because I find this is now going to be so interesting to see who can keep the tyres alive. Liquid Gas, look at that in the background. He gets the move done on Blood Diamond very, very quickly indeed. As soon as the DRS was open, Jack gets through. Master G, that's the fastest lap of the race. What a lap that is from him. 25.6. I said about the 25s would be about right for a race pace, but Dom and Dean, what a ding-dong battle this is. Usually there's Mike somewhere about with that one, but he's scampered up the road. Now then, 2.9, 2.8 seconds, 2.7 seconds. Liquid Gas, what can he do about this? Can he take a second place, potentially, even potentially get the top step this evening? If he does, I think it'll be a fantastic result for him, because you've got Thomas struggling. he's not pitted yet. Interesting how long Thomas can take these. Wow, Grimmo. Where did that come from, Grimmo? What a lap. Fastest lap of the race. 4/10 quicker than the previous fastest lap. Master G is now through on Thomas. 15 lap difference of tyres there. That's taking candy from a baby. I was going to say taking rum from me, but that's just not going to happen. Now then, let's go back. Liquid Gas at 24.3 obliterates those fastest lap times. He's taken a second out of the gentleman. The race is ahead and crucially is outside of the DRS to Blood Diamond, behind those gaps at 1.6, 1.7 seconds. M2's there as well. Thomas just holding on. He's going to have Monster for company very quickly, bringing his teammate along. So I wonder when Thomas is actually going to pit, because this is extraordinary. I wonder if he's trying to one-stop and go into the soft tyres and seeing what people in the first stint manage with them. So that's going to be an interesting one for Thomas, see if he can pull his way through. But I think he'll be down in 12th place regardless of what he chooses to do. But then we're going to go back to this battle at the front for the podium places. Is Dean, is Dom, is Mike going to pit again? Dean, 13-second penalty to come to him at the end of this race. That's going to take a lot of points away from him. This is going to help Jack massively in the standings, and not just that, but Williams as well. Don't forget they're fighting as well with Ferrari, so it's going to be big help for them. As the Ferrari of Dom, I thought he was actually going to go in the pits then, but getting out of the way, the slipstream, he just knew what was coming, didn't he? There's one, there's two, look at Jack go! He's going to try and go around the outside of Dean through turn one. We've got a beautiful footage. It's a switchback from the Williams. Has he got the grip through turn two? Is it going to be a double switchback maneuver? It is. Has he got the traction? Oh, there's a little bit of coming together. Just a slight misjudgment, but now Jack, his light is flashing away. Didn't have that performance, didn't have the speed that he needed, didn't have his battery there to unleash that extra power to get through on Dean. A little bit of wheel banging once more. Come on, gents, you're a bit better than that. Come on. Oh, there's a little bit of a push and a shove from Dean. There's a lot of wheel banging. But look at the gap to Mike. 8.6 seconds now, that gap. That has grown quite a lot. Liquid Gas, I have absolutely no idea how he managed that through turn 11. Dean, that's why it went wide. Another 3 seconds. That's 16 seconds now for Dean. That's catastrophic for the man second in the standings. Now with 8 laps remaining, what can Liquid Gas do about that gap to Mike? 13 laps. Mike's on those tyres. There he is down the bottom of the start-finish straight, turning into turn one. I'll tell you what, Dean's not through with this. He is definitely not. Now there's Dom. Let's see, you're going to have a look. No, Dom thinks better of it. I think Dom realises it's not his fight. But interestingly, I wondered with this battle, Mike's just got now a couple of tenths again. This is helping. Oh, Thomas. 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, goes from bad to worse for the other kick Sauber this evening. But now, how bad is it going to be? Is Dean going to be able to salvage something? Because this is crucial at the top of the standings. Side by side, we go once more time, and the superior grip of Liquid Gas gets the move done. What a move that was, the superior grip. But look at who it's brought into play, ladies and gents. There's this particular Aston Martin and a V-Carb there to play the game as well. M2D2 Blood Diamond now joining the fray. This is going to be a spectacular battle for the podium. Trem now, the penalties starting to rack up a little bit. Monster, but on his own now. 5.2 behind Master G, who's got 6.4 to the back of this group, but he's dropped his teammate as well as Monster. Let's have a look at those penalties. So, top two. Two out of the top three, I should say, as Dean passes once more into turn one. Let's just keep with these two, because this is going to be very interesting indeed. So Dean 16 seconds, which we know of penalties. Dom with 3, M2 with 3, Blood Diamond crucially with 6 seconds. So he needs to keep that gap to Master G over 3 seconds as it stands to keep that position. Monster with 3 seconds as well. Vexman with 3, then Trem with 9. Foxy with 12 there, having a ding-dong battle at 10th and 11th. Then we've got Thomas on 10 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. Grimo with 6 as well. So Grimo could actually take this place from Thomas if he managed to keep within the next 4 seconds. But I think Thomas on fresh tyres, that's going to be a bit of a tall order indeed. But Mike, let's go to him. We've just sort of, he's just doing what he needs to do. Those hard tyres, very, very worn indeed. But he will have 5 more laps to go very soon. And that gap has grown massively to 11 seconds. And he'll be loving the fact that everybody behind is having his nose to tail. Look at this. Wow. 5 drivers nose to tail. M2's not hanging around either. He's trying to get through and muscle his way through with a superior grip that Aston Martin has. But we've got Jack who's just taken over Dean. Dom as well is going to have a look into turn 1. Does he make that move stick? He certainly does. M2 can't do anything about it. He's too far back. Dean's trying to have it up through turn 2. Oh, had a look. That could have cost M2 as well. He couldn't get anything. He couldn't capitalise on the difference. But I tell you what, he's managed to this time. The grip he got through out of 2 and through 3. M2 D2 on his way. And that is going to be also crucial in his battle with Liquid Gas. Don't forget, Liquid Gas needs to pull away. He needs to really scamper off into this and do exactly what he's doing, which is break that all-important, that magic 1 second window over these people who have got the hard compound tyres on. Some of them are very worn indeed. And I think Mike is going to just take those tyres to the end. He can lose a second a lap. He could potentially lose 1.5 if he's careless. But he's not going to want to be careless, is he? Because that gap, well, 9.9, so that's going to come down quite a lot. But it's going to be interesting to see what pace M2's got as well, because they're 10-lap old hards. They'll still have plenty of grip left in them as well. Dean struggling, he's just sort of, oh, M2, I'm saying he's on board with it, but he got a big swing. Dean is now pitted. He's going to serve a 10-second penalty as well. That's going to take him way down the order, and that's going to give Liquid Gas a bit of a sigh of relief as well, because that's going to help him massively. Look at Blood Diamond, got the run on M2, laid into turn 1, side-by-side action. We made contact early in this race as well. M2 managed to hold it on the outside. Good move and good racing from those two, but Jack has now scampered away 2.3 seconds. That gap now all important for him to try to finish this race. Those mediums will start to fall away a little bit, but they won't feel too good. Where is Dean? He's come out in 11th place. It's going to be a lonely 11th as well. Difficult day for the Kick Sauber pairing. 11th and 12th at the moment. That is going to really hurt them. They are not going to be happy in any way, shape or form with that. Dean now another 3 seconds as well, just for his troubles. So he's now to 9 seconds after just got rid of 10. Grimo and Thomas having a good little battle further back. That's going to be a good one. The lesser points, but still points nonetheless. It's all important when it comes to the end of the season, but it's going to be a big swing, I think, in the drivers' standings. This is important for Mike Dom with another 3 seconds. Did not need that at all, because look at Master. He's only 2 seconds now off the back of all these. That gap, don't forget, was 6 seconds not that long ago. And due to penalties, which we're going to have to now keep an eye on, well, he's going to take Blood Diamond as it stands, and he's not far away from potentially taking the position from Dom as well, so Master G could actually gain another 2 places here, and this is putting M2 on for a provisional podium on his debut in MRS. Let's have a look. Monster currently in 7th. He is a comfortable 7th place. Oh, look at that Blood Diamond trying to get on M2, trying to force him wide. If that goes to 6 seconds of penalties, well, anything's going to happen before the end. Oh, got a little bit late on the brakes. Tapped the back of Dom. That's hampered. I think that's hampered Blood Diamond as well. Thomas with 3 seconds of penalties. He's back up to 13 now. Penalties galore. 2 drivers, which is the top 2 with 0 penalties. This is an absolute masterclass from those 2 so far. Mike just holding on. 3 more laps to go after this one as Mike mounts the final corner. Liquid Gas has, excuse me, he has closed the gap, but not enough. He'll be hoping that those mediums will hang on to the end and Mike's tyres will go away from him. But Mike just needs to bring it home. As mentioned, M2 now not hanging around. He is trying to go for third outright ahead of Dom. 3-second difference in the penalties. Driving another 3 seconds to add to his woes in his battle with Foxy Bingo. Dean could actually do something about that, in fairness. He needs to catch up and have 3 seconds at the end, but Dean's got a fresh tyre. See if he can pull that gap down any what towards the end as those 2 are battling. But we're not going to leave this one because this is battle for the podium here, folks. Mazda, yeah, just dropping off the back now. He's comfortably in 7th and just bringing that car home as well. Leave him be, but this is the battle now. Master G and Blood Diamond. Look at the penalty differences there. Right. Jack's pulled that gap down to 7.7. There's 2 more laps to go now. So he is closing. Be interested to see what it is at the end of the next lap. I think he's going to run out of time. Mike's going to be nervous, I think, at this point, but it'll be a fantastic win for him. What position change are we going to see here? Down the start finish straight, is Dom going to be close enough to the Aston Martin? He is. And he makes the move and goes back up into 3rd. But that extra 3 seconds means he's going to lose out to both the Mercedes powered cars behind M2, D2 and Master G. And we know Master G does not like to hang around either, so this is going to be interesting. Look at him, he's having a look at M2 as well. But none of these drivers like to hang around, like to make their presence felt and make the overtake at the earliest possible opportunity. But Diamond, I think, maybe resigning himself to 6th place this evening. Been a lot of movers and shakers up and down this grid. It's going to be a tough one to give driver the day to. When it comes down to it, at the end of the race. If you're enjoying the stream, folks, please do let me know. Do get involved. I don't know if you can hit the like button or give a follow, but please do give a follow if you haven't already. Please do also follow the MRS YouTube channel where all of these videos go up on there, uploaded to the YouTube channel. And so they're there forevermore, and you can watch again and again to your heart's content. M2 gets a little bit of a slide for the final corner. That's giving Master G this the impetus to go and have a look, and he's almost boxed in the Aston Martin in behind the Ferrari. So he's not got anywhere to go, but the Ferrari using all of his battery brakes late. M2 is trying to be hung out wide. Master G trying to go out the inside, but now it's the outside, so we know what happens through here. Oh, can they hold on? Wow, that was close. Master G gets the move. He is now up into 4th. That is going to be net P3. But M2, he's going to want that more than anything. We're halfway through the final lap as well, folks. That gap has come down. Oh, M2 got it wrong. Into the hairpin. Oh, he's got it really wrong. Oh, M2. He's retired. He's out. I don't think he had that much damage. Oh, M2 on his debut could have been a podium. Oh, that's absolute heartbreak. I didn't think he actually had that much damage. Oh, goodness me. Oh, wow. Oh, gutted. Absolutely gutted. But Mike, our leader, has held off the rampant Williams charging behind him and has made that one stop work to absolute perfection. What a win that has gone for Mike takes the top step. Liquid Gas fought through on the alternate strategy. He's going to take second. Very, very well deserved for both of these drivers. And now who are we going to have crossing the line? It is Master G's going to take third after penalties from Dom. Blood Diamond is going to be in fifth. Not sure who that was. That was a lap down. That was Thomas. Oh, Thomas, a lap down. Don't see that very often. Monster, it's going to cross the line in sixth. So be happy with that one. I am sure Vexman is going to cross his teammate in seventh. Good points for the Red Bull boys. Voxy is going to be in eighth on his debut. Great result. Trem unfortunately lost out in the end to Dean, who managed to close in the final laps. Oh, it was 2/10 behind Voxy as well. So Trem in 10th. Grimo is going to come across the line in 11th. The last man on the lead lap. Difficult. A bit of a lonely race for Grimo. Had a bit of a battle with Thomas. Not sure what happened to Thomas. He had to pit again. And he was a lap down. But there we are. Oh, heartbreak for M2. Last lap. Lost the rear. Went deep into the hairpin. Lost the rear. Hit the wall. And, oh, just heartbreak for retirement. That could have been a P3 for him. Well, at worst, a P4. But it is Mike's day. It is Mike's evening. The McLaren boy on top step here under the lights in Qatar. Jack has taken a fantastic second with Master G rounding out the podium positions. And that was a heck of a race. He's actually he's still got his gloves on. As Mike. But what a race that was. What a fantastic race. Wow, absolutely incredible. We've got, who's there? Yeah, Master G and Mike, Liquid Gas, giving credit to those guys. Provisional positions here. Mike started in fourth. He's got the game driver of the day. He takes the top step. Jack with the fastest lap as well. I think he's the only driver in the 124s. He was just actually beat Dean's second time. Master G in third. Dom in fourth. Blood Diamond in fifth. Monster in sixth. Vexman, great race from him from 12th from the grid to finish in seventh. Voxy on his debut from 11th to finish 8th. Dean, difficult one for him, had to two-stop. Didn't work out the way he would have wanted. Trem in 10th. Grimo 11th. M2 classified, but unfortunately DNF. Thomas a lap down, and Frankie just didn't get going really at the start. Yeah, Jack is happy with P2 and it was holding up from the kick. I think that was just good battling, to be fair. Yes, holding up difference in strategy, difference in tyres, but racing nonetheless. My driver of the day, it's going to be difficult. You could give it to the drivers battling with Liquid Gas. Well, to be fair, all the drivers in the early stages and then many after that as well. That was absolutely fantastic battling. Master G, what are you saying? He did wrong strategy for pitting for mediums and not the hard tyres. Oh no. Oh wow. Yeah, that would have cost. I think that could have cost you a potential victory there, Master G. But I'm sure it's going to come. That is all from me this evening. Thank you, gents, for all joining me in the chat. Once you finish, lovely to hear your responses there. And the credit as well to your fellow drivers. That's what we love to see in the sportsmanship there. My driver of the day, I couldn't give it to a single driver. I can't give it to one outright. It's so close. I could give it to, well, top 5, top 6 really. But yeah, that was so enjoyable. So much fun. Don't forget to hit us a follow, as I mentioned, and on the YouTube channel as well. Next week, we are in the roller coaster ride of the Zandvoort circuit. One of those tracks that could potentially give a little spot of weather trouble. Well, we have it for MRS. We will see, so please do join me 7 days' time where we go racing once more. Thank you all for joining me. Look forward to seeing you then. Good night.